How to kill your resume. Today's topic is your resume DOA, dead on arrival. What do I mean by DOA, dead on arrival? DOA resumes are resumes that never really stood a chance of landing an interview from the start. They were a waste of time and resources. These resumes were destined for the dumpster before they even arrived, and unfortunately, this is most resumes. It is very, very easy to end up in the DOA file and not even know it, and we want to make sure your resume does not end up there. There are a lot of reasons that a resume might end up dead on arrival, way more than we could ever cover. So for now, we will focus on what we have found to be the 4 most common reasons. Here are the 4 reasons resumes end up DOA. Number 1 is committing stupid mistakes. Number 2 is using resume blasting for submission. Number 3 is failure to follow submission instructions. And number 4 is cover letter issues. Now we focus on these 4 issues for 2 reasons. First of all, these are really common issues. Most of us make these mistakes at one time or another. And this is the key. They are all really easily fixed with little or no effort. And fixing these can immediately get your resume out of the wastebasket and back into the pile. Now we're going to drill deeper, and we'll start by talking about committing stupid mistakes. Stupid mistakes is a quick and sure way to end up DOA. By stupid mistake, I mean the obvious mistake that when you catch yourself doing it, you'll slap yourself in the forehead and say, that sure was stupid. Mostly I'm talking about misspellings and typos. You cannot turn in a resume full of stupid mistakes. It makes you look like an incompetent fool, and no one wants to interview an incompetent fool. Be willing to do what it takes to eliminate those kind of errors. If you are bad at proofreading, get help from a friend or family member. If you're having trouble organizing your resume, get help. I can sympathize with proofreading. I'm bad at it, I hate it, but I do what it takes to get it done. The bad news is most companies will not tolerate stupid mistakes. They just toss out your resume without even a response. The good news is these mistakes are easy to fix. Another thing that will leave you DOA is resume blasting. Here's a question for you. What do you call a generic pitch sent out to a bunch of strangers hoping that one will bite? You call it spam, right? When a company sees their inbox filling up with unsolicited emails, they will see it as a waste of time and resources. They hate it with a passion, and you don't want your resume to be there. But that's what resume blasting is. Generic pitches sent out to employers you don't know, hoping that one will get back to you. And if by some miracle someone does get back to you, it will be for a bottom-of-the-barrel job or a pathologically desperate recruiter. Resume blasting has been dead for years, but there are still some companies pushing it on rookie job hunters for a price. Don't fall for that. Another way to end up DOA is failure to follow instructions. It is common for job hunters to ignore submission instructions posted by employers. I see this often. Candidates treat these instructions as if they do not matter. Instructions do matter. They are there for a purpose, even if the candidate does not always understand the purpose. They are there for a reason. Here are some common failures to follow instructions. For example, an employer says candidates need to send a resume and salary history. The candidate says my salary history is none of their business and only sends the resume. This candidate is dead on arrival for not following instructions. Simple as that. Another example, an employer says to send a resume and a personal cover letter. The candidate read a book that said cover letters are a waste of time and just sends a resume. The employer disagrees. You are dead on arrival. Still another example. The employer, because of security concerns, states no email attachments. The candidate figures a PDF attachment is perfectly safe and sends the resume in a PDF attachment. The employer means it, and it's dead on arrival. The employer states no links in an email. Same thing, the candidate links to his or her beautiful resume in the cloud. The employer doesn't click on the link. You are dead on arrival. Those are some common examples of submission instructions. If you're not sure of an employer's submission criteria, call them and ask them. Employers are happy to share that information. It's better than being DOA, plus they'll be expecting your resume. Finally, we're going to talk about number 4, cover letter issues. Turning in a bad or weak cover letter can get you DOA. Your resume could be perfect, but if your cover letter is filled with mistakes, it makes you look incompetent. I see people put great effort into their resume, then include a weak, effortless, generic, sketchy cover letter. Many employers take the cover letter very seriously. Some even like the cover letter more than the resume. This is no time to get lazy and end up DOA. Another issue is not including a cover letter at all. Yeah, I know some employers just throw them away, but many do not. Some employers consider cover letters standard protocol, and to them, not putting in a cover letter makes you look like you don't even know how to look for a job. For many employers, it means dead on arrival. Next is submitting a generic, boilerplate, or sample cover letter you pulled from a book or off the web. Hiring managers can spot these cover letters and resumes. You're not fooling anyone. There are dead bang giveaways for spotting a plagiarized, templated, copied, computer-generated cover letter. The next thing is not personalizing the cover letter. You must have the name of the person the letter is being sent to. 9 out of 10 times, you can get the name with a simple phone call. Plus, you'll also be letting them know that your resume is on the way and they will be expecting it. Mishandling cover letters is very common. It can bring your job search to a screeching halt and leave you dead on arrival. Join us at careershaperresume.com, subscribe, and be sure to leave your comments and suggestions. They do get read. Ring the bell. We update at least once a week, and we'll see you on the other side.